I'm David Gies at 909 East 3rd Street, or as children of Moscow and neighboring communities, my house has been dubbed the Way Cool Halloween House.
David, could you pull the microphone in front of you so we're
sorry.
recording this? Thank you.
Okay. I'm here tonight representing a new nonprofit organization, Citizens for a Livable Community, whose purpose is to advocate for planning throughout Moscow and puts livability and community design as an integral part of the land use planning and public facility development throughout Moscow. As you know, we have written a letter to the Secretary of Transportation expressing our support for the 2016 Tiger Grant Mountain View improvements, but expressing our strenuous objection to the car-truck bridge at 3rd Street and Paradise Creek. According to the Department of Transportation website, no Tiger grants were awarded this year in Idaho. Nevertheless, the discussion of the city's application has raised numerous issues about 3rd Street and its visions that affect all of Moscow and ignore principles of community design, livability for the whole city. I am representing the steering committee of the Citizens for a Viable Community, asking the mayor and council to address the following regarding the future of 3rd Street, 6th Street, and D Street, recognizing that the optimum arterial access to Mountain View and housing developments east of Mountain View is via the Troy Road State Highway. We ask that you revisit the designation of 3rd Street as a minor arterial and return it to its prior accurate status as a neighborhood collector. This would return the discussion for possible revision to the Moscow Transportation Commission. We ask that you designate a truck route in Moscow that removes truck traffic from having no origin or destination between 6th, 3rd, and D Street to the Troy Road from 3rd and Jackson east. We ask that you install a pedestrian, bicycle, handicap walkway on the north side of 3rd Street and Paradise Creek. We ask that that walkway be wide enough and strong enough to accommodate emergency vehicles such as EMT and ambulance service to the surrounding area, much as the city has done on the Moscow pathways. We advocate using the $16,000 contributed funds we have helped raise for this purpose. Our 501c3 nonprofit corporation can again solicit grants and contributions that are tax deductible for this purpose. We ask that the Moscow Pathway Commission address the walkway project, establish a pocket park on this
David, please, can you please wrap it up?
Okay.
Sir?
I just have one paragraph quick. An adjacent neighborhood a neighbor is willing to help facilitate this project through a possible land donation. We ask the Mayor Lambert to either authorize the council's discussion of with public comment or refer the request now to the Moscow Transportation Commission for review and recommendation for Moscow Planning Commission and then the City Council for a possible appropriate adjustment. This is in interest to all of Moscow and the livability of our town to review street designation and return 3rd Street from Washington East to the former designation as a neighborhood collective. Please act now. Thank you.
Gotta have an image.
Thank you.
Nels Rees, 308 South Hayes Street. I'm also a member of the steering committee of the Citizens for a Livable Community. I come tonight to provide some evidence regarding the East 3rd Street, its history, and its relationship to the Fort Russell Historic Neighborhood District. The district is both important to the city of Moscow and unique within the state of Idaho. A current project sponsored by the Society of Architectural Historians is assembling 100 classic buildings and sites in the state of Idaho. And the only neighborhood district that's in that 100 is Fort Russell. That's the only one in the state. And this will be a website open to the public called SAH Archipedia. And you can see the website as it stands today, but the Idaho things won't be on it until the end of the year. We're slacking just a little bit there, maybe. I would share with you that in 1982, the National Geographic magazine, which I'm sure you're all aware of,
Keep in mind, you got about a minute and a half.
featured a
Nels.
story about the Palouse. And the only mention of either Pullman or Moscow was a photo showing the beautiful streets of Fort Russell. You have some pictures before you. I share some images with you about those same streets. Also, you hired a consultant to look at Fort Russell, and we have revised Fort Russell, doubled its size, ran it out to 3rd Street, and have about twice as many buildings, 140 historic homes in it as we speak. So that's something you should be aware of. If you are concerned, one more little comment. If you are concerned about rethinking the issue of 3rd Street and the traffic it contains, I would remind you that in 2005, Moscow's mayor and council reported in the Daily News, and you see it on your document there, that 3rd Street Bridge plan had been scrapped. In 2007, the Resolution 30, you see it before you, noted that pedestrian bridge on 3rd Street over Paradise Creek would be recognized as a need and an appropriate thing to do. You have a copy there before you. So we have a great opportunity to revisit the multimodal transportation plan as it speaks to 3rd Street. It is time to revisit that conversation through the Transportation Commission and seek additional civic input. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nels.
Also, I leave with you on the table over there a copy. It just happens that the big city of Spokane has done a report on the Fort Russell district, and there are copies there on the table should you, in case you missed the Inlander 2 weeks ago. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Becker J. Gooch. I live at 234 South Roosevelt here in Moscow. I'm here tonight as a member of the steering committee of the Citizens for a Livable Community Incorporated to support my fellow members and their statements you have heard tonight. I urge you to build a pedestrian handicapped bicycle walkway this year to help connect handicapped cyclists and walkers, including children, kindergarten through senior high, going to and from 3 adjacent public schools. This walkway will benefit safety and access in our neighborhoods of Moscow. We are affiliated with a 501c3 that has raised $16,000 for this purpose exclusively. We would be willing to extend our efforts in cooperation with the city to make this walkway and adjacent pocket park a reality. Nels Reese has shown that the 3rd Street already carries its fair share and more of Moscow traffic. If you want to preserve all the positive aspects of Moscow, especially the heart of Moscow downtown and its historic neighborhoods, inviting additional traffic into the core of downtown would increase noise, congestion, and hazards, and would not do pedestrian-friendly businesses any favor. We need to have this conversation in city government with participatory discussion from all Moscow citizens to design our streets with all of us in mind. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you. I look forward to positive action. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Amy Ball, and I live at 601 East 3rd Street. I'm here tonight because I am just finding out about the proposed motor bridge on 3rd Street. And I was told at the last city council meeting that our mayor made a comment that our neighborhood is not special. And while I assume what he meant was that the needs of the residents of our neighborhood don't outweigh the needs of the residents of any other neighborhood, I would like you to know that our neighborhood is indeed special. Our neighborhood is home to 2 of our city schools, including the high school, which draws from all over our community. Increased traffic on 3rd Street would endanger the safety of all of our school children. It's home to 2 city parks where our children not only play, but East City Park is home to 2 major festivals that are loved by our city. And increased traffic will bring increased noise. And we may no longer be able to have concerts in East City Park if too much traffic goes through 3rd Street. And most importantly, in today of suburban sprawl, our neighborhood is one of the few neighborhoods left in our country that has residents of all ages and all incomes. We have single-family homes, we have apartment buildings, we have children, young families, retired people, elderly people, all of whom chose to live in our neighborhood in part because they could safely walk around town. They could let their children walk to the park or to the school. They could feel safe walking to the senior center or downtown to the co-op to buy groceries or to shop at one of the downtown stores. And I think I would like to challenge our city council members one Saturday to look at 3rd Street and all of the people who walk down it to the farmers market, or once school starts, to sit across from the high school and watch what happens when school gets out and children mingle in the road. And I think that you will see that this neighborhood is in fact special, and I urge you to please reconsider building this motor bridge. Thank you.
We've got time for one more comment. And hold it for 3 minutes, and then I'm going to make some comments.
Hi, my name is Mike Sonicson. I live at 320 South Lincoln, which is just south of East City Park. I have a 4-year-old, and I bicycle commute to school as well. It's more manageable on 3rd Street than, say, 6th. But even still, it's a little bit dicey. I fear what would happen if this street were turned into an arterial with higher speed limits and people essentially trying to get through the neighborhood to another destination, especially as it's connected to Pullman Highway. Lena Whitmore School is right across the street. I was hoping to have my son go there at some point. This just complicates things. And I know that Moscow has complicated traffic issues, to say the least. Just 2 architectural examples I would bring up. Sandpoint, Idaho has been fighting for years to get a bypass built so they didn't have trucks and heavy traffic going through downtown. It's been built to the relief and delight of everyone involved. And then New York City decided in mid-century, under the direction of a planner named Robert Moses, to put in expressways to serve cars. And some of the things that this planning resulted in were, quote, were uncrossable roadways that divided and isolated neighborhoods, creating slums in some cases. Roadways became, quote, congested, confusing, and unwelcoming. Highway noise that had not been there before, dependence on automobiles for trips of easy walking distance. New York's trying to undo those problems. I would like to think that there are ways that we could address east-west traffic flow in a way that preserves the neighborhoods and the charm and reasons for wanting to live in our downtown or nearby downtown. Thank you.
Thank you for all the comments, and I got a couple of comments I want to make to the folks. Every neighborhood in this town is special, whether you live on 3rd Street or 6th Street, or whether you live on Mountain View, or whether you live on Orchard Avenue. And also, the livability of this community is pretty doggone good. If I look at this and think of this is the biggest issue we have to face in Moscow, we're pretty damn lucky. That's how I see it. Okay? Fort Russell area, yes, it's historic. It's never going to be destroyed. That's not going to happen. So I got to share with you folks, people talk about a bypass road that was studied here for years. It's not feasible through the state of Idaho because there's not enough traffic. This is not New York. I mean, we don't have the amount of people we have in the state here doesn't even equate to some of the suburbs in New York City, so we can't, it's not a possible good comparison. So what I'm telling you, folks, is that we're going to move forward, of course. Yes, we're going to do whatever it is we need to do. We've got great community support from everybody on all kinds of different issues, and we've got a diverse community we talk about all kinds of different things. This issue, I'm sure, is going to come back up again some point in time. No, we didn't get a grant. We got no money to do anything with. Who knows whether we'll ever get it? I don't have any idea. So there you have it. And yes, we all got the letters of sending to Secretary Fox in Washington, D.C. to make certain that this wouldn't happen because of your concern and your group. And things like that, anybody can do. Anybody can write a letter, and they can dissuade anything that they wish. Taking traffic and routing it down Mountain View just to solely go through Highway 8 probably won't ever happen. It's going to have, the flow's got to stay in a way that it is. This is a small community. If you isolate just certain pathways where people go and cannot go, that's problematic as well. So with that, what I do encourage is Moscow's going to be very livable. Yes, East City Park's special. Yes, Lena Whitmore School is special. Yes, the Moscow High School is special, as is the middle school and Russell School and West Park and Russell, folks. So, and they're all concerns for all of us, not just one segment. So anyway, thank you very much for taking the time, and I just wanted to point a few of those things at you.